Example 2, solving a linear inequality. We want to solve 4 minus 3x less than or equal to 7 plus 2x. And then we want to give the solution set in interval notation. So let's go ahead and write this out. We have 4 minus 3x is less than or equal to 7 plus 2x. Okay, now the first thing we want to do is isolate all the variables on one side of the equation, or at least in this case the inequality. So we're going to subtract 2x to both sides. Okay, so what that leaves us on the left side is 4 minus 5x, which is less than or equal to 7, and then this gives us 0. Okay, now what we want to do is we want to subtract the 4 to both sides of the inequality. So therefore we end up with negative 5x, which is less than or equal to 3. Okay, now the next thing is we need to divide by negative 5. Now remember that if we divide by a negative number or multiply by a negative number for an inequality, we need to flip that inequality. So we're going to divide both sides by negative 5, and then make sure that you flip the inequality. So therefore x is going to be greater than or equal to negative 3/5. Okay, now let's say that you decided to go in a different direction. You wanted to bring the x on the other side. So let's go ahead and do this again. So we have 4 minus 3x, which is less than or equal to 7 plus 2x. Okay, so let's say you want to add the 3x to both sides. Let's say you want to go in that direction. Okay, so on the left side we have 4, which is less than or equal to 7 plus 5x. Now we're going to subtract 7 to both sides. So we subtract 7 to both sides. So negative 7 plus 4 is negative 3, which is less than or equal to 5x. And then we divide both sides by 5. We get negative 3/5 on the left side, less than or equal to x. Now, in order for us to read this the same way as in the first example, all we need to do now is just rearrange this entire statement. Meaning that, okay, we're going to write the x over here first. Okay, and then we're going to write the number negative 3/5 on this side. And then from this example, we can see the arrow is pointing to the number, which then is going to give us the same result. Okay, so again, those are two different ways. We just need to pay attention to how that is written. Okay, so now we need to then write the solution set in interval notation. We'll also do this in set builder notation, but the first thing we need to do is graph it. So what does the graph look like? Okay, so when we graph this, okay, we have our number line. We want to figure out where 0 is, and then we're going to note that negative 3/5 is to the left of 0. Okay, now it says greater than or equal to. So what that means is if it's greater than or equal to, we're going to use a bracket, and then it's going to go towards positive infinity. So therefore, we would say that the solution, okay, in interval notation would be bracket negative 3/5 comma infinity with parenthesis. Now, if we wanted to write this in set builder notation, we would have braces, and it would be x such that x is greater than or equal to negative 3/5.